It has been confirmed that Battlefield 5 is headed back to its military origins and will be releasing in 2016. Analyst Michael Pachter also predicts that Battlefield 5 will overtake Call of Duty finally in one of the biggest showdowns in gaming. And could it be possible Battlefield could embrace its Bad Company roots once again? We hope so. Hello there, my fellow Battlefield fans. What's up? It's Robbie with Open World Games, and yes, we are talking about Battlefield 5. Oh yeah. My bro Ryan, brothers in arms, is sitting right beside me.
Hey fellow Open World Gamers, what's happening? And if you missed our previous video about Battlefield 5, we speculated about the return to World War II for both Call of Duty and Battlefield 5 in 2016. Check that out in the description and subscribe for more Battlefield 5. Let's just say the response to that video was amazing.
Yeah.
You guys want World War II front and center just like we do.
Yes.
And Michael Pachter, analyst of all things gaming cells, is making some bold claims about Battlefield 5. Is it really possible it could overtake Call of Duty in 2016? But the question is, how? We'll dive into that in just a moment, but here's some interesting words from Pachter himself. He went on to say this: Infinity Ward had some shuffling of staff. They brought in my good friend Dave Stoll to run the studio. He is an extremely talented executive producer. He's one of the original Treyarch guys. He's good. He knows what he's doing. And then what else did Pachter have to say, Robbie?
Yeah, so he goes on to say, but he inherited that Infinity Ward team. They did a bad job on Ghost. If ever there was a year that somebody could knock Call of Duty off its perch at the top, it is this year, because I think gamers who were burnt by Ghost are looking for an alternative. I think people are looking for an alternative to Call of Duty, period.
Yeah.
I encourage EA to take advantage of the opportunity with Battlefield 5 if only DICE could get multiplayer right. DICE are clearly learning with whatever mistakes they made. I was quite surprised by the low Metacritic scores for Star Wars, but DICE, I think, will get Battlefield 5 right. So I'm going to call Battlefield 5 as the top-selling game of 2016. That is a very bold statement.
And Pachter added that the prediction is a big stretch, saying this. He said, it's going to take some real power from EA. They're going to have to make a better game than Call of Duty, and Infinity Ward are going to have to mess it up. I hope that Dave and the IW guys take the challenge and prove me wrong. So we definitely have to agree that Battlefield 4 was pretty much a disaster at launch, but if you look at it now, the game is stellar, it has tons of content, it runs very smoothly, and if you look at Battlefront as well, it ran smoothly at the beginning, so they did get it right with Battlefront, which is exciting.
Right out the gates.
But the biggest mistake that Battlefront made was, well, the content was spread way too thin. It may have had a lot of maps at first glance, you know, but per mode, it was around 4 maps per mode. So they are working to fix that. But we hope that DICE does not follow this trend this time around. But we're excited to see where Battlefield 5 goes.
Yeah, and you know, having those 4 maps per game mode really did make your favorite game mode suffer. So I really do hope they take the Battlefield 4 tactic and just make it to where you have 12 maps for Conquest and then Cookie Cutter.
Exactly.
The other maps for Team Deathmatch.
Yeah, lots of maps per game mode. You know, if you go into Conquest, there's going to be 12 maps. If you go into Team Deathmatch, there's going to be 12 maps.
Exactly.
That'd be cool.
And you know, it would be fantastic to see the return of Battlefield Bad Company 2 gameplay, at least in terms of map and team size. Bad Company 2 wasn't an overly large game, of course. It still felt very, very big, though, but manageable. In fact, it was a nearly perfect size in our opinions. Like Battlefront, though, it suffered from having very little maps per game mode. Battlefield 4 remedied this by focusing wholeheartedly on the stronger game modes like Conquest and building maps first and foremost for those game modes, then cutting out smaller maps for Team Deathmatch and the like. This strategy combined with Bad Company 2 gameplay on tighter maps would allow for it to compete against Call of Duty. To a degree, of course.
Right. Another fear is that Battlefield 5 will drop its single player completely, much like Star Wars Battlefront. DICE and EA have repeatedly done polls around single player to gauge fans' response. And, you know, if you look at games like Halo 5, this is a game that I like to use as an example, and the Halo series, it has always had a stellar campaign that you can play cooperatively with 3 other friends, and I really hope they establish this in the Battlefield and even Battlefront series.
And you know Call of Duty is going to offer single player and co-op. They have done that every single time they release a game. And for that reason, people just go out and they buy it.
And honestly, it doesn't even have to be that long of a campaign. Honestly, it does not. Here's the reason, because the statistics show the truth. Not many people even complete a single-player campaign.
That's
is
why
the truth. So I think scaling back the single-player campaign, it doesn't have to be 30 hours long, 40 hours long. You know, it can be a 10-hour campaign and people would be happy. I really do believe that.
Yeah, they should just merge the single-player campaign with the co-op, make it more open-worldish for once.
That would be
make
awesome.
It, you know, something extensive, in my opinion, where both of those elements are merged together and has some sort of progression system within the single-player and co-op together. That's something I would love to see for Battlefield 5, but it's going to be interesting to see if they even keep single-player in there, considering their recent polls and stuff like that. But guys, stay tuned here to Open World Games for more Battlefield 5. It is going to be happening here in 2016, and it's going to be crazy. And of course, it's going to be a looker. You know this game is going to be amazing.
Incredible.
So stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the battlefield.
See you guys next time.